Hello. In this tutorial we're going to look at the roof command. The roof command is located in the architecture tab right next to the ceilings and the floors, right in here. Now to create the roof we have to go to the roof level, and we only see the tall portion of the building because we only see the level below, and that's the 4th floor. So this has to do with what is called the base range. If you scroll down in the properties browser up to the underlay, and we have that base level is really the floor below. If you went down to the 1st floor you would see really the entire building, but that's not really what I want right now. In the roof level I want to see only this portion of the building. So by default it only shows that. Now also I see my section markers. Okay, maybe I want to see them in the 1st floor, but maybe I don't want to see them in here. So there are a couple of ways we can do this. If you select an object and you type EH, that means that it's going to hide the object that you selected. So let's say this EH would hide only this object. Now let's undo. And now if instead of EH, if I select the same object, but this time instead of EH, if I type VH, that means it's going to hide all elements. So EH stands for element hide and VH stands for category hide. Now how do I bring them back? I hid them, but what if I want them back? Well, right in here there is a light bulb that's turned off. Click on this light bulb and everything that is displayed in red means that it's hidden, and you can click on the object and right up here you will see unhide category or unhide element available, one or the other. So if I clicked unhide category and then click on the light bulb again, here are the elements that I was hiding before. Again, I don't want to see them, so VH. Okay, so now let's look at the roof command. Go to roof, and again in the selector you can select the type of roof that you want. Let's stick to generic, and similar to the floors you can pick a wall, but there are a couple of extra things in here. Now if I click right in here, it picks the wall right on the inside, and it will create a roof on the inside of this wall. Now do you notice these little guys in here? That means that this edge defines a slope, and that's because this box was checked by default. Let's accept this and let's look at this in 3 dimensions and see what this looks like. This is what we just created. So all of these edges create a slope. Not the best condition in the world. I just wanted to show you what that means. So let's go back, let's delete this roof, and let's start over. Roof. The other extra setting right in here is the overhang. I can type a number here, let's say 3 feet, and basically it creates an overhang of 3 feet on the outside of the wall. Also what I can do is I can select, let's say, these two, and uncheck the box defines a slope. So it means that only these two edges on the left and on the right will define a slope. Let's look at what this looks like in 3D. There you go, that's what we have. And not a great condition in here. We have a problem. Well, not really. It's very easy to fix this. All we need to do is to attach the wall to the roof, and the way you do this is by clicking on the wall. Once you highlight it, you have the option right in here, attach top base, and then Revit is asking you in the lower left hand corner, select roofs, floors, ceilings. In other words, what do you want to attach this to? Well, to the roof, and the wall is attached. Now once the wall is attached, and I can click on the roof and notice that I can change the slope, and the wall changes together with the roof because the wall is associated with the roof. And of course, if you're doing this, don't forget to do this on the other side as well. So now let me show you one more thing about the sloped roof. I will go to edit footprint to go back into the sketch mode, and let's look in this view. It's better to see. Now, what does that mean? By default, this would have looked like this. Before I stretched it, the default value is 9 to 12, 9 inches over 12 inches. What that means is that for every horizontal foot, the roof goes up 9 inches. So this is the ratio with which the slope is calculated. Every horizontal foot, roof goes up 9 inches. And that's pretty steep. If you want it to be not so steep, you can just change this. And you don't really have to type the formula as it's shown in here. All you need to do is type the first number. So if I wanted this to be 4 inches over 12 inches, all I need to do is type 4, enter. The formula is written automatically by Revit. And the same, let's say, on the other side. Let's leave this at 9 over 12. And complete this. Now let's look at this in 3D. Okay, that's what we created here. So this is it with sloped roofs. But I don't really want a sloped roof. I want a flat one. So I will delete this one and go back to the roof layout, and then go into roof. I will uncheck the box define slope. There will be no overhang, and all I'm going to do is I can either select wall or line, it doesn't really matter, and pick, I actually didn't change the overhang. I really don't want any, 0. Okay, so click on the inside of the roof. And okay, now that I have the roof command, let's look at this in section view. I want to see where is the roof located. So I'll go to the east-west section, and there you go. Now look at the difference with floors. When you create a floor, by default the top of the floor is at the level. When you create a roof, the bottom of the roof is at the level that we have for the roof. Now, this was different in older releases of Revit. Before, the top of the roof was associated with the level. So make sure that when you create roofs, you kind of look at this in section to make sure that your roof is located in the correct place. Now, what if I actually wanted these walls to go up, which I do. I want the walls to go up about 1.5 feet over the roof. Right now the walls are going 1 foot above the roof level. So the roof level is right here, and we have the thickness of the roof is 1 foot, so the top of the wall is up to 49 feet. So I want it to go another 1.5 feet. Well, if you select the wall, you can go to the top offset. Right now it's 1 foot. So if I wanted to add another 1 foot and 6 inches, the top offset would be 2 feet 6, 2 space 6. And then you can either press apply or just move the mouse out of the property browser and click on the screen. And that would accept the command. And okay, that's what I want to do. Now the problem is that I want to do this with all the walls, and now I have to select them one by one. So is there another way to do this easier? Yes, there is. Let me show you. Okay, so if I point to one of the walls, I'm selecting only one wall, right? But if I point to it and just hover over it, so it's highlighted but it's not selected, and then press the tab key, that's what's called a chain selection. And look at the lower hand corner, it shows your chain of walls or lines. So every wall that was that's connected is going to get highlighted. So let me show you this in plan view. So I have, for example, I have all these 4 walls are attached. So if I hover over one of the walls and then press the tab key, notice how all 4 of them are highlighted. Click, I have all of them selected at the same time. Same thing in here. Highlight one and then press tab. They're all selected. And I can make this change in plan view as well. The top offset we said is going to be 2 feet 6 and accept it. Let's look at this in 3D. There you go. We have this. I have to do the same thing for these walls. I will want them to go above the roof. So highlight, select, top offset is going to be 2 feet 6. And then this wall and this wall also will get top offset of 2 feet 6. And now I have to go and create the roofs for these two levels. So let's start with the lower building. I have to go to the second floor and then create a roof. And this is going to be a flat roof, no overhang, no slope, and just pick these lines. Use the trim command. TR is the shortcut. Trim extent is called the command. And this should be good. Here we have the roof. Move on one level up and create the roof on this building. Roof, and again no overhang and no slope. Create the roof, and there you go, we have the building. Now I can see that I have a little problem in here. See, this wall is not reaching the roof and it's actually not overlapping the roof. So what's the problem in here? Well, this has to do with something I mentioned in the previous video. Remember when we talked about floors, and when I created the floor on the second level, I got a message. Revit asked me if I wanted to attach all walls to the underside of that floor, and I said yes. And I told you that this is usually what you want, but sometimes it creates problems, and this is exactly what happened in here. Let me show you in section view so you see better what's happening. East and west. Okay. Now, if I click on the wall and I look at the level, at the settings in here, it says that the top constraint is the second floor, which is right in here, plus 2 feet 6, which should be exactly what I want to happen. But the wall somehow doesn't reach. The problem is, I said this wall should be attached to the slab above, and notice that right now is to the underside of this slab, and it's attached. So now I have to do is detach the top base. This particular wall I want to detach it. So detach and then select the floor slab. So now there's nothing to stop the wall to go to whatever the setting is in here. And I will have the same problem on the other side. This one. Select, detach top base, detach it from the slab, which actually is kind of hard to select over here. So probably best would be to go to a plan view, select the section, switch the direction of the section, go in here, select the wall, detach top base, detach from the floor. There you go. So now I have the building envelope, and we can move in and start building in ceilings, stairs, and interior walls. This is it for now. Bye.